Hello and welcome to a new video. Today we're going to take a look at Morpeko. This Pokemon is honestly fantastic. I love this Pokemon. There are like no Pokemon I like a little bit more than Toucannon for the Open Great League, but it's one of my favorite Pokemon to run. The issue is I recently kind of struggled to find a good team with it, and so I kind of wanted to take a look at my first team here that I want to try with this year, which is going to be more like back to the roots, kind of more of an old school team towards Morpeko. This is a team that I've been running back in the day quite a bit, and it was fantastic. Like, it was absolutely fantastic. I was in shock on how strong Morpeko actually still is in this meta. And of course, we're going to have here also a very accessible team. Like, not gonna lie, it's very accessible. By the way, for Morpeko, you don't need good IVs. A bad IV Morpeko is absolutely fine. It's one of those Pokemon where IVs really don't matter that much. I looked at it before. I have a really good one which I got through what's called like a Go Battle weekend, which is always the best opportunity to get yourself a good Morpeko and a good Aegislash. But like, I'm super happy with this Pokemon. This Pokemon is absolutely fantastic. And we have a fantastic team here as well. This team worked out exactly how I wanted to work out, so let's dive into it. We're going to have here already first matchup. We're going to have an Azumarill against us. We have two good answers against the Azumarill in the back. Of course, one already down with Cradily, but we're going to still have our Morpeko. And then sub onto the Marowak. We can farm them down. This is already game over. Like, we have an Aura Wheel. And let's take a look at the damage of an Aura Wheel against an Azumarill. And this is the reason why you kind of want to run Morpeko. Like, you do so much damage and then you boost your own attack up. It has the most broken move in the game, kind of, with Aura Wheel. Boosting yourself up and doing, like, I think it's 100 damage plus stab. It's wild. But of course, for the people who don't know Morpeko itself, Morpeko is quite unique in what it can do as well, because Morpeko is the only Pokemon that has truly 3 different charge move coverage moves, basically. What I mean with that is you have Psychic Fangs for the Psychic typing, you have Aura Wheel for the Electric typing, and you have Aura Wheel for the Dark typing. Which seems a bit weird, but every single time you use a charge move with Morpeko, it changes its form into the Hangry, or like the full belly form, I think it's called. And depending on which form it is, if it's Hangry, it's Dark. If it's full belly, it's Electric type as a type for the Aura Wheel. And that's quite unique, and that's kind of cool. And also, shoutouts to the opponent here, running Salazzle and Kingdra. Very cool team. And also very tough team for us to deal with. Both Salazzle as well as Kingdra are quite having good matchups against the team that we are running right now. And they're going to reveal their final Pokemon being the Wigglytuff. And I'm like in a really tough position here right now, because the opponent is going to be able to still utilize their shield. In this case, they don't really want to, but I have my Talonflame here, and Talonflame is gonna go down here now against the Wigglytuff. So it's all down to our Morpeko. I can go for the Psychic Fangs, which is not going to be enough to knock them out yet either, but I kind of want to get the shield at least, and I need to kind of play somewhat in a certain way in order to have a chance here at least. I'm still gonna knock them out here, and but they're still going to have Kingdra, and I know that I'm going to lose here because I don't have any energy stored whatsoever, and I know that before I get to an Aura Wheel, they're gonna get to a Swift anyway, but they can farm me down before as well. So good game to the opponent. Well, let's move on to the next one. Alright. We're going to have Clodsire against us. Clodsire is a bit of a tougher one, I have to say. Like, Clodsire is a bit tough. Like, well, yes, you have the option to at least go for a Dark type Aura Wheel later on. So, like, your Electric type isn't fully getting destroyed by this Pokemon. We are not in the best position, but I know that I'm going to be able to go for 2 flies before they can go for their second Stone Edge on my Talonflame, and that's kind of very valuable information, because now we get some damage onto them and a shield, and this damage is all that I really wanted, because I kind of put them close enough to the Psychic Fangs range, and that's fine by me. Like, I'm totally okay. I'm going to give up my Cradily here, by the way. If you want to use shields, you either want to use it on Morpeko or on your Talonflame, because those are your sweepers. Both of them can boost their own attack up with either Flame Charge or the Aura Wheel, and that's why you kind of want to keep your shields there. There are going to be some situations where it makes sense to shield Cradily as well, don't get me wrong, but as a general rule of thumb here, you kind of want to go ahead and keep your shields for Morpeko especially. And here, the opponent makes an amazing catch to catch the move onto their Toucannon. So we have 2 Pokemon that are weak to Aura Wheel. I am well aware that I'm going to be able to win this battle. I could go straight for my move. I could try to catch a move. I just go straight for the Psychic Fangs. Even if this doesn't knock them out, I'm fine. I have enough Pokemon in the back still that can deal with the 1 HP that they have on this thing. And they are indeed going to knock me out, but like, what's going to happen now? They have 1 HP. We have 2 Pokemon in the back. They just went for a charge move. Of course, we're going to win here with a 1 Incinerate, and we can move on to the next opponent. Alright. That's actually a tough lead here. But they make it easier for us because they are running Hex instead of Astonish, and this is something that I would say to you all the time. I would really not recommend you to go for Hex Dusknoir. it basically ruins what Dusknoir stands for. If you want to have a Hex Ghost type user in order to just have like some bulk with it, go for the pre-evolution of it. But like Hex on Dusknoir does not make sense in my opinion. The benefit of Dusknoir is the Astonish damage plus the Shadow Punch, and we see it here already. Like, we have now a shield advantage, we have energy advantage, we have switch advantage, and if they just had Astonish, they would have put me into one Shadow Punch range after just a tiny bit, and they would have had a way better matchup for themselves. So yeah, that's kind of unfortunate. Here the opponent goes for their Dragon Claw doing some solid damage. I could knock them out here, but I tried to overfarm. They reveal their own Pokemon in the back being Cradily. I should have knocked them out first. Absolutely. That was a mistake by me. I want to just get as much energy as possible. But in the meantime, with that, I kind of more ruined my own chances. And I make a big mistake because I was kind of distracted there. So I have a tiny baby at home right now. And I usually do the battles next to my tiny one. I sometimes have to split my attention span to two different things. I decided to use a shield here on the first move, which was absolutely silly. But in comes a Turtonator. I knew that they still need to go for an Incinerate before they can go for anything. But I have to hope this resisted Aura Wheel is going to be enough. And it is. And now we are still going to be able to win the battle because we have another Aura Wheel, which is going to allow us to get that KO. Hopefully. Hello. Thank you. Okay, next game. Next difficult matchup. Empoleon. Okay, what do we do here? I have multiple thoughts. The first thing is, I think the best scenario for ourselves is actually going into the 2-shield scenario. Because what we do is we get them super low. But then anything that I was just thinking about just doesn't make any sense here, or like doesn't matter at all anymore. Anyway, because I go into the Altaria. And I go for the fly here, hoping that they would use a shield because I'm boosted now. And they do, which is fantastic because now I have Cradily coming in. I didn't want to actually hit the fly there. I would have rather want to get the shield. So like that's actually fantastic for me. I didn't want to go ahead and get the damage onto them because it makes way more sense to go damage here with a super effective hit of Rock Tomb than for the fly that would have not done as much as the Rock Tomb just did here. In comes Empoleon. I was actually hoping that I'd still survive the hit. I have no idea why I was hoping this, but yeah, I'm not. I am absolutely not. Like, that's fine. But in comes now Morpeko. We can use a shield here, and I think I can go for the full thumbnail against the Empoleon, which now leaves me with so much energy. And this is the thing as well, by the way. If you want to run your Morpeko, you have to have one of two things. Either you have shield advantage or you have energy advantage. Here in this case we have a ton of energy, which is great. In comes here the Primeape, which is fine as well. And they actually call the bait, which is really unfortunate though. And they catch the next move afterwards, which is even more unfortunate because they only have a few HP left. And so, like, actually, I kind of put myself into a really tough position now, which I didn't have prior. And the opponent plays it absolutely perfectly. Literally absolutely perfect. Here, they get the most amount of energy possible before they have to throw the move. And now, if they get to another Rage Twist, I'm done for. Like, I'm gonna lose this battle. But I don't. Still a close one though. Like, well played from the opponent. Like, this is the thing. Oh, here, by the way, we are battling Rise to the Occasion as far as I know. So, shout out to you, Rise, as well. We're going to have an interesting matchup here, of course. Matchup of the YouTubers. He is like a multiple regional winner. Truth be told, I currently, so far, am hardwalling him. Like, there is not a lot of skill involved here by having Fire type against a Grass type and Grass type with even Poison type damage against a Fairy Water type. So, like, they are kind of walling us. The thing is here, though, like, we are walling them, I mean. The thing is here, though, they get a ton of energy here, which is very smart by them. Like, getting Gorgas in here, getting all the energy, having 4 False Moves in already, like 80 energy. And they have Guzzlord in the back. And this is actually now going to be a bit more awkward because I'm getting core broken by Guzzlord. My entire team kind of loses to Guzzlord. Cradily is still absolutely my best answer by far. But what I hope here is that they kind of give me more energy because I want to get the extra fast move in, and I do, and I get the fly off. And that is important because now I know I can just swap out into my Morpeko no matter what they do here. I'm kind of alright. Because I need to keep my lead for the Gorgeist. I don't want my lead against this thing here. And I'm thinking that I should be, I'm definitely going to be able to win CMP tie with Talonflame against Gorgeist. So as long as I get rid of the Guzzlord somehow, I should be fine. Or as long as I get them at least kind of low. And I do get them low enough that they're in 1 Incinerate range. And so I get this Incinerate off. They go for the charge move. I just shield. Doesn't matter what it's going to be. And I should be able to win the CMP tie, which now allows me to go for the fly, knock out the Gorgeist, and that is going to be a good game. Guzzlord was at the end of the day quite difficult for us to deal with, but we still were able to win this one generally. I think I had a better team matchup than Rise to the Occasion, so good games to you, of course. Check out the YouTube as well, of course. I think you most likely know him already anyway. Anyway, Malabai. Metamor is going to be a bit of a tougher one, but again, what you want to do is, with this team, is you try to set up your Morpeko. That is your main goal. So, like, what you try to do is, you try to get rid of a Fairy-type Pokemon, which is why you have a Fire-type, which is a Fairy-type, it's very good against Fairy-types in lead, and a Sainsop that has even Acid as a fast move, which is going to be good against Fairy-type Pokemon. Fighting-type Pokemon, that's why we have a Flying-type in the lead, that also has, like, a Sainsop here that is part Rock, which is going to be able to bait down out those Pokemon, like those Fighting-type Pokemon. And then we're going to have here, of course, Morpeko on the back to try to sweep endgame. Here, we are now in a position where I get some energy advantage, where we're going to get some damage advantage, and this is exactly what I kind of want to do, and I completely screwed up here. I think I just didn't pay enough attention again. Like, I usually play while mining a little baby, so it's sometimes a bit more difficult there. But I'm not in a worse position here. I think I make a bit of a mistake here, though. They have the Toxapex here, which is honestly a Pokemon that everybody forgot about. Like, literally everyone forgot about Toxapex. It's still one of the most annoying Pokemon to deal with. It is so bulky. The reason why, by the way, Toxapex kind of disappeared is because Tentacruel is generally better. It has better coverage, and the meta itself kind of shifted towards Mud Slap and Astonish, which is both not great for Toxapex. But yeah, I'm able to go for a charge move here against the opponent. This is going to allow us to get them low, but like not low enough to knock them out yet again. Like, they have to go for the Scorching Sands though to knock me out here. They do that. I think they have still some energy, but if I would have just went for a charge move here, I think I would have been fine. I would have won Steam Pita against them. And then I would have just needed to get to another move against the Toxapex. I'm not too sure I would have been able to outspeed the Toxapex, so I think I was maybe still lost, but I could have played a little bit better. Okay, Cradily against an Elite is horrible. Like, that is a Pokemon that I really don't have a good answer for, like, at all. So we have to be a bit mindful here. I'm going to decide to go for the Rock Tomb against them here now as well. At least I have some still locked in against my own Cradily, which is fine. And I got some fast move damage in before already, which is fine as well. And now I have an energy advantage on my lead, which is going to be okay. But generally speaking, it's not really the ideal play. Like, this is not really ideal. We have the Rock Tomb coming in here now, which is going to do some solid damage against them. That is fine. But we have the Gastrodon coming in next. We are trying our best to go for the Fly here to hopefully get the KO. Let's find out. It is not going to get the KO. It's going to get them low, though. We're going to use a shield. Whew, that's going to be tough. The Body Slam is coming in, and we're going to try our best to go for another charge move here, which is going to allow us to get the KO. At least Gastrodon is gone, which is needed for Morpeko, but I'm not too sure if we're going to be able to still win this. Okay, they have their own Talonflame. I can go for my Fly. That's going to force a shield early on. But this game is still not over. Do I shield here as well? I should not shield exactly. I shouldn't shield because I need to kind of keep my Morpeko in order to deal with the Talonflame. My hope here is actually to catch the move from the opponent, which works out beautifully. Okay. Now in this case, they're still going to get another move against our, against our Morpeko here though. So unless I would have went for a bait here, should have went for a bait most likely. The opponent's got to shield this move up. Okay. I have to hope now that my Psychic Wings maybe is enough to knock them out. And this is exactly what I'm going to go for, because otherwise, like, I going to need to farm down anyway then otherwise. But it is going to be enough to knock them out, which is really important. Let's see. They're going to still have the Cradily in the back, and we can actually Thunder Shock them. Oh, no, we actually still have to go for the Psychic Wings. But we are going to be able to knock them out here. And that is going to be a good game, and we can move on to the next opponent. Corviknight in the lead is absolutely fantastic. In comes the Ferret, though, and I'm like, what am I going to do, you know? And I just realized that I would really enjoy a shield here. Please give me a shield. I just want a shield. That is honestly all that I want here. And I do get the shield, because now I have my Cradily in. And this is where you kind of, like, this is something that I kind of would like to, I don't know, maybe make a video towards as well, like some tips or whatever that's gonna get you immediately better, is to utilize on the knowledge that you have with the way you play. Because here, for example, I knew there's the Corviknight in the back. I knew that my Cradily is the best Pokemon against the Ferret, but I know that I don't really need alignment in order to deal with the opponent's Corviknight. And this is why I was able to just hard swap into my Talonflame. This is the reason on how I was able to kind of now tell as well that I am fine no matter what I'm going to do here. It doesn't matter what I'm going to do here. I'm going to be fine because I don't need alignment. I knew that I don't really care about my Cradily there, because I knew that even if I'm going locked into the Corviknight, which is generally a bad matchup for Cradily, I'm going to be able to swap out immediately because I have 2 good answers still against them. And so this is kind of something that is just very important in order to get better. It's like just to kind of have the game understanding, like what's the end goal, like where do you want to get there, like it's just really important to kind of understand on which Pokemon is when important. And here we are going to be able to see also another interesting thing that I tried to apply here, for example. Like it's the thing as well, maybe I just should commentate a little bit more about like the thought process there. Here, we had the Morpeko in the lead, horrible lead. But my only way of really getting rid of it is two things. Either I lock it in against Cradily and have a little bit of an energy lead with Cradily as well, because they are outspeeding us so immensely, it's actually going to be not the best matchup for Cradily either. Or I get a shield advantage and just incinerate them down. And that's exactly what I'm trying to do here. And they're going to go into their own Corviknight in the back, and that seals the deal already. I will be able to win this battle because I have my own Morpeko, which I can now utilize. They're debuffed. I don't really care about the damage at all. And I'm going to be absolutely fine. The only thing that I need to make sure is that I have a ton of energy, because this allows me now to win against Morpeko, because I'm not scared of the opponent's damage output. This is going to be resisted here and debuffed here. I will win no matter what if I keep my both shields, and now I won. Like, I have 2 charge moves stored on this Pokemon for the Morpeko. I have a charge move stored on my other Pokemon. I just have to land them. And this is where the game all of a sudden stops working. I will win this battle. This is going to be it for this one. Like, I would have won this one, but I'm going to lose it because the game doesn't work. Great. But this is how you kind of want to position yourself. So, this is an amazing team. Please feel free to copy this team. This is fantastic. Hopefully you enjoyed it. If you did, feel free to leave a like, and I will see you then. Yeah. Bye-bye.